We're live. It is Monday. I am William Poet. I want to welcome you to episode three of Mindset Mastery. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you guys are here. Let me just kind of blow this screen up so I can see a little bit better. There we go. I'm so grateful that you are with me today, sharing some time, sharing some energy, maybe sharing some coffee. This has become one of my new favorite rituals, and it's based on an old favorite ritual going back 20 years ago. A group of guys, we used to get up every Monday or 5 days a week. We would meet at the gym at 5:45. We would work out, coffee at 7. And those were some of the most enjoyable times of my life. And we got somebody popping in the link. It says a LinkedIn user, which doesn't mean I know who you are, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Our tribe is assembling in today's training. And you guys are going to love this. I'm going to be sharing, as you know, I have spent, well, if you're new, you don't know this yet, but I have spent my entire life studying the world's peak performers. I'm the author of the ABCs of Peak Performers, and I have been thrilled by the idea of mastery for as long as I can remember. And it doesn't really matter how it shows up. It could be a master athlete. It could be a master gardener, a master tennis player, but an individual that has cultivated their gifts to a point where their life begins to resemble art. I love that. And so what we're doing in this show is once a week, we're going to get together, this incredible tribe of motivated, inspired individuals, and we're going to share some coffee, we're going to share some conversation, and I'm going to share some training techniques and some tips and some tools that are used by the world's best to thrive, to succeed, and to elevate themselves and the world around them. So that is what we're up to. If you have just joined me, I'd love to know where you are. We've got friends who are now tuning in from the East Coast, from the Midwest. I'm out here in beautiful Santa Barbara, California, as we roll into this brand new week. So here's what we're up to today. I am going to be sharing with you guys, and probably my favorite topic. It is the number one principle embraced by self-made millionaires. The number one principle. A researcher studied hundreds of them and came up with 6 principles. And I'll be sharing these with you over the next few weeks. But today we're going to be talking about the number one principle self-made millionaires use to drive success. And success, it's not about money. Money is something that's very easy to measure. It's really about understanding the fact, and this is really critical, that the most successful, the most impactful, the most powerful men and women on earth, the ones that are really moving the needle, don't necessarily have more resources than you and I. They are not necessarily better educated than you and I. Don't come from better backgrounds than you and I. What is different about the world's best is their mindset. And that's what this program is all about. It's about how to elevate it, how to identify what's working, how to identify what isn't, and then how to recode our minds for greater levels of joy, greater levels of impact and success. So that is what we're up to. The tribe is assembling. We are broadcasting live right now on LinkedIn, Facebook, and you can interact. Now, here's the good news, bad news. If you join us on LinkedIn, you get to interact live with me. I can actually see what you post. We can have a conversation in real time. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, I will get to those comments and I will communicate and connect with you. It's just going to have to be after the show. So that's it. We are going to roll up our sleeves. I'm going to have a sip of coffee first. And if you would, I'd love to know, where are you joining from? Where are we sharing coffee together? What city, what state? Are you at work? Are you in the car? Are you at home? The more we can connect, the more energy we can exchange, the more fun we can have. And I do want to share this. This is a really big win from our second episode. One of our new friends, a member of this community, Mike Schmidt, Gulf Shores, Alabama, outstanding. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I actually got to have coffee in person over the weekend with one of the listeners to our show, and it was really, really fun. We connected here on LinkedIn, messaged me, was passing through town, had a great time. So, Mike, thanks for being on the team. I really enjoyed that one-on-one coffee. So let's see what we got. We got Mon. There he is. Speaking of the man, welcome and good morning. So real quick review. One of the things that you are going to learn about me as we continue this adventure together. I am a training expert, and there is a big difference between a training expert and someone who just disseminates knowledge. And this goes back to the beginning of my career 30 years ago. I owned a chain of martial arts schools. I was a close quarter combat instructor. My ultimate specialty was knife fighting. Good morning, Dr. CL. And the critical thing that warriors understand is that knowledge is important, but it's only valuable when it becomes cellularized. When we take that information, when we take that data and we embed it into the core of who we are. So not only is this a fun conversation around the idea of mindset, the idea of optimizing your mindset, I'm expecting you guys to train. Oh, so it is Tommy. Tommy, welcome. It's so cool. I don't know why it doesn't say your name. Tommy trained with me years ago. Tommy is a black belt. He's an amazing human being. Really cool that he is with us today. So the ideas that I share with you guys have been tested. They have been proven, but again, they are only valuable when we can embed them or code them into who we are. And the only way we can do that is training. And so real quick, we're going to be doing a lot of review. What is review? Review is training. Success in life is less about gathering lots and lots and lots of information. It's more about discovering what works and then being relentless in your pursuit of that. One of my favorite quotes from Bruce Lee was, "I don't fear the man that has done 10,000 kicks. I fear the man that has done one kick 10,000 times." So there's a hint in that principle, and it's going to be really key to what we're going to be talking about today. So quick review. What is our mindset? Well, your mindset is made up of three things. It's made up of your beliefs, it's made up of your values, and it's made up of your dominant feelings. And your mindset is the frame and the driver of all of your actions. And I want you to think about this because this is so important. We all know, we've all seen, we've all experienced individuals that don't have your resources, don't have your education, don't have the tools at your disposal, and yet they are living exponentially greater lives in terms of joy and impact and finances and success. And so the difference is their relationship with the world around them. And I want you guys to think about this because this is so important. Our company, 9Q literally means energetic intelligence. And so our company, our training, what I do for a living outside of these coffee chats is helping people connect with energy, understand energy, and then align it and apply it. So energy in physics is simply capacity to work. Energy can be money, it can be capital, it can be your IQ, it can be the software that you have at your company, it's your team. But your ability to align and apply energy comes down to mindset. All of the customers that everyone accesses are available to everyone. All of the information is available to everyone, but it's our relationship with the world around us. It's our mindset, our beliefs, and our values and our dominant emotions that dictate our relationship, that dictate our actions, and ultimately create the world around us. Let me share this quote from Einstein that I thought would be really relevant to today's training. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. So the work that we are doing together in this Mindset Mastery Monday is we're kind of peeling the onion back, and we're thinking about what we think about. I've given you a couple of homework assignments. Number one, go back and look at your dominant beliefs. Your beliefs are your I ams, it is, about yourself, about the world around you, and put them on two sides of a piece of paper. On one side, these are the beliefs I know that empower me. The I am powerful, I am amazing, I can do anything. And then on the other side of the page, we're going to write down the beliefs that you have that are disempowering. And then we're going to counter them by writing a new belief set and embedding it in our lives. How do you embed it in your lives? You take that new coded belief and you put it on a Post-it note, and you put it everywhere. You put it on your shaving mirror, you put it in your car, you put it in front of your computer. You have it become the dominant driving thought because it was coded into you through years of repetition, and it's going to take some time to recode it. So that's kind of what we're up to. Today's training idea, and this is, again, probably one of my favorites. And if you came in right at the beginning, I said I was going to be sharing the number one principle embraced by self-made millionaires that has driven their success. What do you think it is? Can anybody guess what is, and I've got it right here, the number one principle embraced by self-made millionaires? What do they do that's different? What do self-made millionaires do that how are they spending their time? How much time and energy are they investing in negative media? How much time and energy are they investing in binge watching Netflix? How much time and energy are they investing in complaining about the world around them? The answer is very, very little. The number one principle, this is it. I love it. It's a little bit of a drum roll. The number one principle of self-made millionaires is they are constantly learning. They are constantly learning. Self-made millionaires have what we call a growth mindset. Don't are what others think. Don't. So Ernesto, then welcome, buddy. Don't care what others. There we go. You might need a little bit more coffee, brother. So they are constantly learning. They have a growth mindset. So one of the principles, core principles that I've taught Ernesto and actually all of our clients is the idea of ATR. So here's today's lesson. Today's lesson is going to be all about ATR. I want you to write it down. ATR is an acronym, and it means your ability to respond. And I want you to think about this. So we're going to break it into some different quotients, but your success in life is based on your ability to respond to the opportunities and challenges that you wake up to, that surround you. And a simple analogy, when we think of an infant, a baby in a crib, their ATR is non-existent. They have none. Fire breaks out, earthquake breaks out, there is literally nothing they can do. They have no ability to respond to the world around them. Some of the special operators that I trained with over the years, massive abilities to respond. Their ability to respond to opportunities, threats, and challenges is off the charts. And they weren't born with a massive ATR. It was developed. So the number one, this is the number one principle. I'm going to challenge you, and hopefully this is why you guys are with me today. The number one principle that you can embrace is a growth mindset as an individual and within your company. And the beauty of mindset is the fact that leaders have them, organizations have them. The most successful organizations on earth are those that have been able to embed an empowering mindset throughout the entire organization, a growth mindset. So what is your ATR comprise? This is where it gets really, really fun. You have 5 quotients, 5 areas where you can elevate and improve your ATR. There is your PQ, IQ, EQ, SQ, and 9Q. And you might have never heard it broken down this way, but it's really exciting when you understand it, because when you understand this, you are going to grow into an integrated, fully actualized person, not someone that is out of balance. So I have these 5 quotients, these 5 aspects of who I am. My PQ is my physical quotient. That's your health and your strength and your vitality. Are you investing time and energy every week in training your body? Are you hitting the gym? Are you doing the cardio? I am 60 years young. I'm in the best shape of my life. When I wrap up this coffee chat this morning, I am going to go for a run. I'm going to hit the gym. I am relentless in my pursuit of physical strength. Ernesto, my brother, is an Ironman, literally competes in the Ironman, one of the most brutal, intense demonstrations of physical strength in the world. So if you are going to grow your mindset, if you are going to live a fully realized life, then you've got to address your PQ, because here's the bottom line. When you feel weak, when you feel tired, when you feel overwhelmed by stress, I don't care what degree you have from what university. I don't care how high your IQ and EQ are. If you are physically exhausted, you have no juice. And if you have no juice, you are not going to drive success. So we're going to work on our PQ, growing our PQ. We're going to work on growing our IQ. What's your IQ? It's your intelligence quotient. Intelligence is your capacity to access, here's the key word, access and apply information. Information that sits on your desk is valueless. Information that sits on your nightstand is valueless. Intelligence is your capacity to access and apply information to drive your goals, to drive whatever matters most in you. So I got my PQ, I've got my IQ. EQ is critical, and EQ ties directly into mindset. So if you remember, the 3 pillars of your mindset are your beliefs, your values, and your dominant emotions. EQ is your emotional quotient. It's emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is your capacity to manage, to be self-aware and self-manage your emotions, because your emotions are your dominant energetic state in any moment. And there are emotions that drive success. When you are in love, when you are in expansion, when you're doing things that thrill and excite you, you are more creative, you are more insightful, you have the ability to inspire other people around you. And here's the really good news. EQ is a skill set. IQ, we tend to come out of the box with, but the good news around IQ is all of us can still learn, we can still grow, but EQ is almost infinitely expandable. So I've got my PQ, I've got my IQ, I've got my EQ. Here's one that you might never have heard of if you're not a 9Q student, your SQ. And this is your spiritual/service quotient. This is your ability to take whatever your gifts are. You might be an amazing educator. You might be an amazing chef. You might be an incredible gardener. Take your gifts and scale them. How many people can you impact with your gifts? And it's a fascinating concept. And it's really where massive growth and massive abundance come from. Because if you really want to scale your finances, if you really want to scale your impact, then you've got to focus on developing your SQ. Identify your gifts, maximize your gifts, and then figure out ways to share them with as many people as possible. And 100%, Dr. Silkinson, SQ, positive impact on the world around you. And this is what I love about SQ. And this is really why I'm doing this broadcast right now. We, and science is getting better at measuring this, but we as human beings are all connected. There is an energetic link between us. And when you serve, when you love, when you celebrate, and when you uplift another person, you are uplifted and you are served. And it's this amazing dynamic that happens when we are really elevating each other. That's the best feeling on earth. But the reverse of that also can happen. If you don't recognize our intimate connection, when you tear someone down, when you hurt another person, when you take advantage of another person, you are not only doing damage to them, you are doing damage to yourself. And then the final quotient is our specialty, and that's 9Q. That's your energetic quotient. That's your ability to align all of them. So I want you to think of yourself, and we had this really, really cool concept, and I'm laughing because I know I'm probably giving you guys way too much information right now. But at the end of this training, if you take away one idea, one teaspoon of what I've shared with you, then our time together has been well spent. But our intention at 9Q is to help you become a fully actualized, fully integrated individual. And when we work with a company, when we work with an enterprise, our objective is a fully integrated, actualized organization. So what do I mean by fully integrated? Well, I shared with you the quotients. There's your physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and energetic. I hate to say this, but there are men and women out there with perfect bodies. Their PQs are off the charts. I mean, to look at them, you're looking at a statue of the David. They have zero EQ. They are not, and they have zero SQ. They are not kind people. They bring no value to the world. They have these brilliant, they excel in this one aspect of ATR, but they've neglected the other. So that's one example of being disintegrated. There are other people who have the highest level of emotional intelligence, and their capacity to love is amazing and connect is amazing, but they have completely neglected their bodies. They are obese. In fact, in America, 60% of our country is trending towards obesity. And you know what that means? They're not going to be able to play with their kids. They're not going to be able to play with their grandkids. They're not going to be able to enjoy the gifts of this world. And so the goal, what separates the most optimized mindsets from those that are less optimized is number one, it's a growth mindset. And I shared this with you guys last week. If you really join this tribe and you show up every Monday and you invite your friends and you invite your team and you make this a part of your ritual and you take these concepts and not just on Monday, but for the rest of the week, you apply them, you focus on them, you train in them. The person you will be in 3 months, the person you'll be in 6 months, the person you are today will never be able to compete with them. That's what's so exciting about a growth mindset, is recognizing that and think about this, guys. I've never met someone who didn't want more. Everyone out there wants more. I want more love. I want more success. I want more money. I want more abundance. I want more. Well, the reality is that is an energetic physics impossibility. Less can never have more. If I have a 20-ounce coffee cup, this is not going to hold a gallon of coffee. I can stick this under a coffee fountain with thousands of gallons of coffee coming down on it, and I'm just going to walk away with what I have. And so the reason why a growth mindset is so critical is the miracles that we have been engineered so that we can grow. Every one of our quotients, PQ, IQ, EQ, SQ, 9Q, all of these can grow. And if you want more, this is really what I want the takeaway to be, then you need to grow more. And if you grow physically, if you grow intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, your life cannot stay the same. So just as less can never have more, in nature, anytime there is a vacuum, nature moves to fill the vacuum. So when your ATR, what's your ATR? Your ability to respond. When your ATR expands, your life must expand with it. And so this has really been our focus today, the number one principle. And there's 5 others that I'll share with you guys in future trainings. But a belief system, a mindset code that I really am going to challenge you guys to adopt, address, and elevate. So I know my brother Ernesto, this guy lives to train, but I also know that we can always optimize our training. We can always become a little bit more proficient. We can always become a little bit more engaged. We can always give a little bit more of ourselves to that which we're doing. And in that dynamic relationship, and again, a physics truth, the more you give, the more you're going to receive. So as we kind of wrap things up, the intention, and give me a boom if anything I've said with you guys has resonated. And again, if you guys are on Facebook or YouTube, I can't see your comments in real time, but I promise I will get to them later on in the day. I would suggest that you join us over here on LinkedIn, because I don't know how this platform works, but on LinkedIn, I get to see what you guys say. I get to be engaging and connecting with you in real time. And I know some of you guys are doing this on Facebook, and it's just not as much fun because I can't see and hear you. But our homework, your training challenge for this week, number one, write down ATR and learn what it means. It's your ability to respond. Then I want you to write down the 5 quotients: PQ, physical quotient; IQ, intelligence quotient; EQ, emotional quotient; SQ, service, spiritual quotient; 9Q, your energetic quotient. And what I want you to do, and you can do it right now, it's super easy. Put these down on a piece of paper. We're going to take an inventory. Which one of these quotients is the weakest? We're just going to pick one. And if you do this every quarter, you're going to find a radical transformation occurring not only in your mindset, but in your life. Which quotient is the weakest? And then I'm going to challenge, I'm going to invite, I'm going to celebrate you coming up with a plan, investing this week in elevating that quotient. So your intelligence quotient, maybe you've been listening to these couple of episodes and you're like, God, my beliefs, I know I need to optimize my beliefs. Well, maybe you're in an environment or a situation where you're not surrounded by the best role models on earth. So how could I elevate my IQ? How could I elevate my mind? Biographies. I love biographies. I read biographies multiple times a year. This is, again, one of the practices of high achievers, because within biographies, when you identify a great man or woman, someone that you really would love to learn from and emulate, when you read a biography, you get insights into their beliefs and into their values. And when you find beliefs and values that you know you want to adopt, you can begin training in them. So the homework assignment for this week is, number one, ATR. Make a commitment. Say, I am going to adopt a growth mindset. I'm not going to live in a fixed mindset. This is as good as it gets. This is as good as I get, because that's absolutely not true. You have the innate capacity to grow every facet of your life. Make a decision to become a fully integrated individual and organization. And what I mean by that is do an inventory. And we're going to start with individuals. We can do the same thing with companies. We can do an elemental inventory around a company. And is it a strategy gap? Is it a marketing gap? Is it an execution gap? And again, once you identify the gap, create a training protocol. And it's not going to take crazy amounts of time. 3 hours a week. 3 hours. If you were to religiously, consistently, and relentlessly work out for 3 hours a week, and you did it well, and you did it scientifically, your body, you'd have the body of a rock star. If you invested 3 hours a week in elevating your IQ, your capacity to access information, apply information in whatever industry or hobby or area of your life that excited you, you would become an IQ rock star. Same thing with EQ and SQ. Well, gosh, William, you mean you want me to spend 3 hours a week on my body and 3 hours a week on my education and on my emotions? So that's 12 hours a week. Yeah. Recent studies have shown that the average American spends about 30 hours a week watching television. So my challenge and my invitation is cut that in half, 12 hours a week. But that might be too much this week. Just pick one. Pick one area of your life. And I would love it if you would leave this in the comments. It would really inspire me. If you have identified what's the one critical area, what's the one quotient in your life that you have been neglecting, or maybe you haven't been neglecting, but it isn't optimized. What is that one quotient? Share it with me. Is it your PQ, your IQ, your EQ, your SQ? And by sharing it, what you're doing is you're making a commitment to us, to your tribe, saying, I am going to consciously focus on optimizing this quotient this week. I'm going to nurture a growth mindset. And I'm going to see you guys same time next week. Mike Schmidt, IQ, boom. I love it, brother. And here's what I love about Mike. Mike, I know he's got his MBA from an amazing school, went to Cal Poly. So here is a very successful man. And this is what I really want you to take away. I have chills right now, who recognizes I can still grow. I can still take my life to the next level. I can take my relationships to the next level, my family to the next level. And here's my last secret. I'm 60. I have more energy, I have more vitality, and I have more life in me than I did when I was 30. And my life isn't all rainbows and unicorns. I'm coming off in the middle of a really, really difficult time. There's some real challenges that I and my family are facing. And yet because of my ATR, I have the ability to respond, to show up and do what I need to do and maintain my curiosity, my health, my passion. Before you guys bow out or leave, make sure you follow 9Q Solutions on LinkedIn. Check out our website. I have almost finished our starter kit. I'm working on some really, really cool tools, some videos and some worksheets that I'm going to share with all the members of our tribe. And please share this video with your friends. As soon as we wrap, share it with your team, share it with your friends. Let's grow this tribe. Let's get some energy. Really appreciate you guys for spending the morning with me. And between now and next week, well, I'm excited because next week, this team is going to be stronger because this week you guys are going to train and you guys are going to grow. So that's it. On behalf of myself, my partner, Dr. Lars Ciel, our company, 9Q Solutions, go make some great happen. I will see you all next week. And that is it. I am signing off.